Tens of thousands of spectators packed the streets of Japan's ancient capital Kyoto recently to watch a parade of colorfully decorated floats in the annual Gion Festival. 10 large floats took part in the second parade, which started last week in the month-long traditional festival. The theme of one float is En no Gyoja, the legendary founder of Shugendo Mountain asceticism. The Shugendo monk riding on the float blew a conch shell. Another float, called O Fune Hoko, was rebuilt last year after the original was burned down during political upheaval 150 years ago. Cheers rose from the spectators when the wooden float was tugged round at crossings with the help of armfuls of bamboo poles placed under the fixed wheels. And NHK News crew has been allowed to visit Russia's new space center that is under construction in the far eastern Amur region. NHK is the first foreign media to tour the Vostochny Cosmodrome Space Center. President Vladimir Putin's government is spending about $6.5 billion to build it as the new center for space exploration and development. It will replace the Baikonur launch site in Kazakhstan that has been used since the Soviet days. The framework of the 32-meter-high Soyuz spacecraft launch pad is close to completion. Construction of the rocket assembly plant is also underway. Housing quarters for researchers and workers are being built inside a 100,000-hectare compound. A senior space agency official said the Soyuz launch facility will be completed by the end of the year as scheduled. He said construction is progressing smoothly and praised the program as a big step for Russian space development. Russia plans to launch a manned spacecraft and a rocket with military satellites from the new center. The country is trying to boost its presence in space and wants to also jumpstart development in the Far Eastern region that Putin has been promoting. In the town of Ishiki, famous for raising eel, shipments to markets throughout Japan peaked on the traditional Eel Day. Japan has a long tradition of eating grilled eel to beat the heat on the midsummer day of Ox, according to the Chinese calendar. The town in Aichi Prefecture has more than 100 eel farms and is one of Japan's centers for cultivating the fish. The eels grew to about 60 meters long. Farmers sorted them by weight before delivery to restaurants and wholesalers across Japan. Japan's government has introduced a licensing system for eel farming as part of efforts to protect the species. The fish was listed as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature last year. An official with Ishiki's eel farming cooperative, Koji Yamamoto, says members are now aware of the issue. He says they're raising eels with more care than ever, and that he's sure consumers will enjoy the town's specialty. World-renowned fashion photographer Nigel Barker says it's great to visit Sri Lanka after many years. He said he is willing to visit Sri Lanka again and help young fashion industrialists. Nigel Barker is an English reality TV show personality, author, spokesperson, filmmaker and a former model. He is best known for his participation as a judge and photographer on the reality show America's Next Top Model, and it's now the host of reality show The Face. Nigel Barker was born in London. His father is of Irish and Portuguese descent, and his mother is of Sri Lankan ancestry. Nigel Barker was on a trip to Sri Lanka with his family, where he was hosted by Cinnamon's Hotels and Resorts. Nigel Barker donated a cattle pen in Yala Day. He also held a workshop on fashion, photography, modeling, and is an inspiration for Sri Lankan fashion industry. Nigel said it's great to have the opportunity to inspire young Sri Lankan fashion industrialists.
I've had a great time in Sri Lanka. It's been way too long. I came to Sri Lanka when I was sort of 7, 8 years old as a young boy many years ago, and had an incredible time then. And coming back this time has been a wonderful time to reminisce and remember those memories, but also to see the changes in the country. Flourishing fashion community rising, which has been exciting for me. I could talk to so many of the rising stars of fashion in Sri Lanka and hopefully inspire them to see their dreams be fulfilled.
Fashion can really be a huge part of any country's culture, and that can be a driving force that has happened for many countries like India, America and most of the Western countries. So since Sri Lanka has the link and all the ingredients required, just putting together, we believe that the Nigel can really play a critical role, an important role by trying to mentoring some of these people.
A new glass skywalk over Longfeng Waterfall opened in Taiwan, China recently. The price of an admission ticket is $3.2, including entrance fee, cleaning charge and shuttle bus fee. Tourists feel that the price is fair and acceptable. The 30-meter-long skywalk is 50 meters high above the ground. The part of the skywalk suspended in air extends 15 meters from the cliff. The scenery surrounding the skywalk is splendid, but it challenges the tourists who have a fear of heights. The skywalk over Longfeng Waterfall is not the first glass bridge built in Taiwan. Its popularity is yet to be proved by forthcoming tourists. The world-renowned British designer of the UK pavilion at the 2010 Shanghai Expo, Thomas Heatherwick, has brought all of his iconic architecture models to a museum in Shanghai. The exhibition, named New British Inventors Inside Heatherwick's Studio, contains work from across the world. One of the exhibits is a model of the well-known UK pavilion from the 2010 Shanghai Expo. It was voted the best international pavilion among 250 others. The building is a cube made up of 60,000 clear acrylic rods that contains 250,000 seeds from the Millennium Seed Bank.
The UK pavilion at the World Expo, that was the world's biggest ever hairy building. You know, it's like, well, where did that come from? It came from analysing what we imagined other pavilions would be doing. Because at the same moment on the planet, there were 250 teams thinking, what shall I do? You know, what do we do? We had to try to think, what would other people do? And then not do that. Because the British government wanted our project to be in the top 5.
Heatherwick says human experience is always the main intention when his team works on a design, just like the rolling bridge they built in London, a type of curling movable bridge completed in 2004, which consists of 8 triangular sections hinged at the walkway level and is connected above by 2 part links that can be collapsed towards the deck. When extended, it becomes a 12-meter-long bridge, and when the bridge curls up, it allows the boats to pass below.
We know that the best cities are the cities you enjoy walking around and that are interesting and stimulating, and just there is something that catches your eye, and you're not too far away from other people. And so we are in a time where it's important to not just be obsessed with how buildings look in photographs, and instead think much more from human experience, always first.
The Heatherwick Studio is now working on a 300,000 square meter living space that will be opened in 2018 on Shanghai's Moganshan Road. The exhibition will run until August 8th in the Power Station of Art, Shanghai's Contemporary Art Museum. Humanoid robots, which are able to speak, dance and play soccer, amazed the audience and highlighted the 2015 RoboCup Robot World Cup, a world competition on robot making and operation in Hefei City, capital of East China's Anhui province recently. An intelligent robot displayed in the main venue of this year's Robo Cup has 25 degrees of freedom, which makes it possible for the robot to walk, dance and even get up after a fall. The robot, like many of the others, also integrated the function of speech recognition, semantic comprehension and speech synthesis. Many audience at the scene were eager to talk to the intelligent electronic man. My name is Xiao Ru from Ilfitech Company Limited, the humanoid robot told a little boy. Experts say robots will play a major role in family service and children's education as the levels of intelligence are further improved in the future. If Ilfitech is undertaking an important artificial intelligence project, part of the National 863 program, National High-Tech R&D program worked out in March 1986, which is called the Humanoid Intelligence System based on the big data. Wu Yu, Dean of the Research Institute of Ilfitech, said generally speaking, we are meant to make a robot which will be able to participate in the college entrance exam. We want to enable the robot to read books, learn knowledge, acquire the knowledge designed for primary and junior school students, take college entrance exam and finally pass the exam to a good Chinese university. More than 2,000 participants from 47 countries and regions took part in the major and junior team competitions to showcase and compete on the latest robot technologies at the International Expo Center. The event mainly focuses on 3 aspects, including robot soccer, service robots and rescue robots. As the world's largest robot-focused competition, the event also had a special opening ceremony featuring robot technologies. Its interpreting service was undertaken by a robot and 2 banners used on the occasion were also held by drones. The RoboCup is not only a competition but also a platform for technicians and science students to study from each other and transfer the technologies to industrial production, according to one of the event organizers. Chen Xiaoping, General Chair of the event and President of the Chinese Committee for RoboCup, said speaking from the perspective of industrialization, as there are also so many excellent technologies displayed here and also so many enterprises coming to hold exhibitions and visit, they can easily launch negotiations and cooperation here. This year marks the 19th edition of the RoboCup, first held in Japan in 1997.